Hello everyone. Today's class we are going to learn about 6th standard understanding elementary shapes. So we are going to learn about understanding elementary shapes. So in this first measuring line segment. So first how you have to measure the line segment, let us see. A ruler or a divider is generally used to find the lengths of line segments. The length of a line segment can be defined as the distance between its endpoints. See here, a ruler or divider. Ruler means scale. So normally line segments we measure by using scale or else by divider. So these are the two things to measure the line segments. The length of line segment can be defined as the distance between its endpoints. For line segments, there will be two endpoints. So between the endpoints, we can measure the distance. So next is angles. So we have angles here like acute, obtuse and reflex angles. So let us see what is that. An angle is made up of any two rays which have the same end point or starting point. So angle means between two rays where the point will meet, actually there the angle will form. So it can be better understood by the movement of clock hands. When a clock hand moves, it forms an angle. So normally this we can say in the wall clock. So for better understanding, we can use the wall clock hands. So normally when it moves, so that time we can say where the angle will be formed. To measure the angle, a protractor is used. So normally to measure angle in previous classes also we have learned that. So for you measuring angle, we use protractor. It should be noted that a straight angle is 180 degrees. So we know that a straight line if you draw, so that will be like 180 degrees, and while a right angle is 90 degrees. So everyone we know that straight angle means it will be 180 degrees and right angle means 90 degrees. Based on the degree, an angle can be classified into three main types. So here according to the angle, so we can divide into three types of angles. So that is acute angle. So when this acute angle will form? When an angle measure is less than a right angle, it is called an acute angle. So that means it should be less than 90 degrees. Then acute angle will be formed. So next, what do you mean by obtuse angle? When an angle measures more than a right angle but less than a straight angle, so it is called an obtuse angle. So that means it should be greater than 90 degrees. So less than 90 degrees means acute angle. More than 90 degrees means obtuse angle. So already these two, obtuse angle, acute angle, right angle, all this we have learned in previous class. That means in 5th standard we have learned. So here one more new one we are going to learn now. Reflex angle. So what do you mean by reflex angle? When an angle measure more than a straight angle, it is called a reflex angle. So normally you can see in your protractor, you will be having like a 0 to 180 degrees only. So reflex angle means it should be more than straight angle. So we know that straight angle means 180 degrees. So it should be more than 180 degrees, then it is called reflex angle. So these are the three types of angles based on angles. So next is, what do you mean by straight and right, straight and complete angles? So now before we have seen acute angle, obtuse angle and reflex angle. So now let us see what do you mean by right angle, straight angle and complete angle. So first, right angle. When an angle's measure is exactly 90 degrees, it's called as right angle. So where the 90 degrees exactly it will form, that is called right angle. Next is straight angle. When an angle measure exactly 180 degrees, it is called as straight angle. So how 90 degrees if it is formed means that is right angle. So if you take a straight line, so there you can see 180 degrees will measure, it will form the angle. So where the 180 degrees it measures exactly, so that is called straight angle. Next is complete angle. When an angle exactly measures 360 degrees, it is called as complete angle. So normally I said before in previous we have seen 180 degrees only we will see in normal protractor. So you have one more big protractor that is 360 degrees also you have. So where the 360 degrees exactly it measures, so that is called complete angle. So these are the three angles: right angle, straight angle, and complete angle. See here, acute angle. So these are the examples of angles. These are the this angle is the acute angle. So here you can see it is measuring 62 degrees. So which is lesser than 90 degrees. So that means it is lesser than 90 degrees right angle. So this is acute angle. Next you can see here exact, it will be like a L shape. So you can get here 90 degrees exactly. So this is the example for right angle. Next you see here obtuse angle, 135 degrees it measures. So this means here obtuse angle. So that means greater than 90 degrees. So here you see straight angle. So in a straight line, so if the point is here means, so here the 180 degrees will form. So this is the example for straight angle. Next you can say reflex angle. So reflex angle means it should be more than 180 degrees. So here you can see, so here normally the angles will form here, but the this here reflex angle will form here. Why means this will be 360 degrees protractor we have to use. So here 240 degrees, yes, this is the example of reflex angle. Next you can see here complete angle. So complete angle means where the exact 360 degrees will measure, that is the complete angle. So this is the example for 360 degrees. So these are the examples of types of angles. See now here normally when we turn or when we stand, so how the angles will form and how right angle will form and what is revolution, all that we are going to see here. So by how many right angles should you turn in the same direction to reach your original position? So that means when we are standing in here means, so if you want to complete one direction, so how it is possible? See, turning by two straight angles or four right angles in the same direction makes a full turn. This one complete turn is called one revolution. The angle for one revolution is a complete angle. Suppose now you can see this is the example. So here it 12. So if from 12 to again to complete one round, what you should do? So it should take one round. So when it takes one full round, so this is called one complete revolution. So this is called complete angle. So here you can see four right angles will form. So for this best example, you can take a wall clock. So from 5 to 3 o'clock, if it comes here means here one right angle will form. Again from 3 to 6 here one more right angle will form. So again here from 6 to 9, one more right angle will form. Again from 9 to 12, one more right angle will form. So like this in one complete revolution, in one revolution, four right angles will form. Next, we can see such revolutions on clock faces. When the hand of clock moves from one position to another, it turns through an angle. See from here one position to, so we know that from in a wall clock, so there will be 1 to 12 the numbers. So when it turns, there the angle will form. Suppose the hand of a clock starts at 12 and goes round until it reaches 12 again. So has it not made one revolution? So how many right angles has it moved? Consider these examples. So as I said now, so from 12 to again to 12 to reach here, it takes one revolution. So that means completely one round it has to go. So that means how many right angles will form here? So I said from 12 to 3, one right angle, 3 to 6, one right angle, again 6 to 9, one right angle, and 9 to 12, one right angle. So totally four right angles will form. So here you can see, so here they have given from 12 to 6. So this is like straight angle. So as we learned before, so straight angle means here 180 degrees it will form. So here this means 12 to 6 means here only half revolution. It did not reach till 12, only half it has done. So here we can say 1 by 2 of revolution. So here 12 to 3, one right angle, 3 to 6, one right angle. So totally two right angles will form here. So next one you can say 6 to 9. So here 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock only it has moved. So here you can say this is quarter revolution. So that means 1 by 4 of a revolution, and from here to here only one right angle will form. So now you can see here from this in this clock from 1 to 10. So here you can say this is 3 by 4 a revolution. So here how many? So that means from 1 o'clock to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 like this 10. So here it will move. So from 1 o'clock to 10 o'clock when it moves, so we can see here three right angles. So this is the way how in a clock right angles will form. So next to see how you have to measure the angles. By observing an angle, we can only get the type of angle, but to compare it properly, we need to measure it. So just by observing only we can say what type of angle it is, as we learned earlier. But so how you can say exactly, that means, so when you measure the angle, then only you can say complete how you can compare the angles. An angle is measured in degree. One complete revolution is divided into 360 equal parts. So each part is 1 degree. So you can see in 360 protractor. So that means normally in angles we will measure in the degree. So it will be 360 equal parts will be. So each part will be calculated as 1 degree. We write it as 360 degrees and read as 360 degrees. So this is the form we will write, how to write degrees. And we can measure the angle using a ready to use device called protractor. And to measure the angles, what the instrument we use, so that is called protractor. It has a curved edge which is divided into 180 equal parts. It starts from 0 degrees to 180 degrees from right to left and vice versa. So here you can see in protractor, you can see 180 equal parts, and it will start from 0 degrees to 180 degrees. Next, you see, to measure an angle using protractor. So that means by using, now we have learned how to measure the angle. So now by using the protractor, so how you will measure that, you can, we will see. Place the protractor on the angle in a way that the midpoint of protractor comes on the vertex B of the angle. See here, you can say they have given here A, B, C, one diagram. So what you have to do means, now first where you have to, how you have to put the protractor, how you have to use. So what you have to do means, in your protractor down you can see like one line. So that base line, what you have to means, in between here you can see this will be like as 0. So this 0 to 180 it is there, no? So this line exactly you have to keep it on the baseline. So this line, okay. So now here we can measure. See here, so this line it is there, this line where it goes, where the angle they have given A. So now here exactly you can see. So that means when we are using the protractor, you have to take the from inside. So this inside degrees you have to take. So now you can see here 1, 2. So I can say this is 72 degrees. So you have to place the base of protractor on the down line, and next where it measures, so there you have to take the degrees. Then angle ABC equals to 72 degrees you will get. See, adjust it so that line BC becomes on the straight line of the protractor. So this BC, you have to keep it on the base of protractor. Read the scale which starts from 0 degrees, coinciding with the line BC. The point where the line AB comes on the protractor is the degree measures of the angle. See, BC we will place here, and where this pin comes, then we will get angle ABC equals to 72 degrees. So this is the way we measure the angles. Now you see perpendicular lines. What do you mean by perpendicular lines? If two lines intersect with each other and form an angle of 90 degrees, then they must be perpendicular to each other. So what here means, if the two lines are there means where they meet, they intersect. So that means where the two lines will meet, and when they meet, no, it has to form 90 degrees right angle. Then we can say that both the lines are perpendicular to each other. So now here you can see AB is one line and MN is one line. So now I can say this AB and MN line, they are intersecting at the point N, and where they are intersecting here, exactly here it will form a right angle. So now I can say AB is perpendicular to MN. So this is about perpendicular line. So next further we will learn in next class.